Hello everybody, welcome to the Lion's Den with the conclusion of day one's festivities. We all meet and greet, we had some dinner around 6 o'clock, and then after we digested some food, we decided to roll some dice. And we have gone 4 turns. We've gone all the way up to starting July of 1938. And this is about where we have gone and arrived at in this game so far. And Hilltop Hillbox and myself playing the common turn. Currently our status is neutral. I don't think we're doing overly bad. I don't think we're doing overly great. Currently right now, just as a rough overview, we have forces on the Finnish border there, just raring to go to take Finland, to engulf that into the sphere of the USSR. Unfortunately, though, we can't do that until we reach an income of 19. And over there, you can see we got an income of 10. 8 or 10. 8 right now, actually. So we need to roll a few more dice, and hopefully next turn we'll be able to roll a big enough number. We might be able to actually go to war, if possible. That would be amazing if we could, actually. But in the Republican sphere of things, the Republicans and the Nationalists, it's kind of a giant stalemate right now. The Republican Navy has wiped out the Nationalist Navy, and it does have a cruiser and coastal submarine left, and that cruiser is currently in port. They're adding another militia to Catalonia. We have a sizable force inside Madrid defending it, and a few other forces spread out through the provinces. And of course, the Nationalists have, they're sitting firm in their territories in the northwest. Matt Bandana has been very good with the recruitment rolls. He's gotten 3 out of 4 already, which is, unfortunate for us. And we actually have not got that many, which is unfortunate, obviously, for us again. So right now, it's kind of a neutral stalemate. And as the Soviet player, we got to start figuring out what we're going to do, where we're going to go, how we're going to do our future turns here, because obviously we got our own economy to invest in. We have been investing some money, some supplies down into the CCP. It hasn't really paid off, but hey, that's the luck of the draw, luck of the dice. Even our income increase rolls, rolling those D6s, we have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 out of a potential 12, right? So not the greatest there, below average for sure. Japan did last turn invade China, and of course you can see from the strength of it, they have taken Suyan, Beijing, Hopei, Shantung, Hunan, Hainan Islands, even down here, the Southern Territory, Kwangtung. So, they're doing quite well. KMT did do a counter-strike. We obviously rolled the warlords. CCP picked up a few of them. We signed our pact, and of course, now we have the KMT and the CCP sharing territories, and obviously we're in a path of survival here. Obviously, still a sizable strength here against the Japanese forces. And of course, Japan has to deal with not only that, but potential Russian aggression or Soviet aggression. Now, the Soviets the Far East Command basically is under my command, and I have deployed our submarines in the Pacific to keep Japan honest right now. Because obviously, if we start invading or attacking their convoy routes, that's a lot of money for Japan. We can't do that yet until I believe we get into a 19 IPP income, but that's kind of where we're at. That's our status right now, especially in the Far East Command. So we have a sizable deployment of forces here to deter Japanese aggression. Also, Mongolia. We have received 2 out of 3 or 4 of the recruitment roles, so we've added a few more infantry to the Mongolian forces there. That's always fun. But basically, this is kind of where we're at. Now, Great Britain's obviously running around consolidating Calcutta, India. Obviously, they got the transports shucking, moving things around, moving their assets around, preparing for a potential battle. Obviously, there's not too much going on in Singapore. Calcutta is where they're mounting their big defense, and rightly so. The Japanese have a sizable force. They have the Second Army down here, full of lots of Marines, and then they have the First Army up here, up in Suyan, and of course, CCCP is not liking that, so we're going to see how that develops this turn and the subsequent turns and go from there. The Italians did win the Abyssinian conflict, the war there, so Haile Selassie is booted back to London right there, and of course the Italians are, well, they're making their territory look nice and pretty. They even got a little factory here in Italian Somaliland, which shows that they're really going to try to help keep on to this territory, because obviously it's worth a victory point and make it a thorn in the British side. And of course the Italians are down here in Cyrenaica. They're ready to march into Cairo. And of course that's going to put pressure on the Allies as well. But the Allies are not doing nothing. They have a large part of their Navy back here. A huge part of their Navy, actually. They got, I believe this is Force J down here, where they got the Eagle, the Nelson, the Courageous. They got a lot of assets over here on this side of the board here, as well as the French, the Canadian. I mean, they got all of their Navy over here. But it looks like they're probably going to be doing a European first strategy, really put the pressure on the Italians, really put the pressure on the Germans, which can't argue. I think that would be a good thing to put a lot of pressure on them, because Russia right now obviously needs to get its economy rolling. Hilltop and I to get that ball rolling. The Americans, of course, can't do too much right now. They're still in a very neutral state. The Germans have annexed, obviously, their territories of Austria, Czechoslovakia, Bohemia, and now the Czechs are in line with there. You can see the Czech biplane there, along with the German Air Force. So they've thrown in the towel with the Germans. Russian naval assets here. We got the Kalinin and the Zeridi just off the coast of London right here. Not that we can do anything, not like we're here protecting the British, but we're on our way to Leningrad to reinforce our Navy there and to help protect Leningrad from future German aggression. You can see up here the Germans off Peenemünde are testing their V2 rockets. A little scary, but hey, whatever. Soviets are testing their nuclear ambitions way out here in central Siberia. And of course we got the Martians floating around here just checking out what's going on, seeing how this great world war is progressing. And of course we got the Hindenburg and the Graf Zeppelin floating around here just for a little bit of flavor. So always fun at this event, always fun to see what's going on. A lot of posturing right now, you know, as the game progresses. You can see Madman Dan's throwing in a lot of light armor, self-propelled this turn. Army Group C right here in Western Germany. As they slowly start to build up their forces. They obviously got this and that. They bought a few airborne here. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see once they put the hammer down and go after France, how and where and how that's all going to develop. I'm hoping the roles will be on our side. And really, and when I say our side, I mean the Allies side, will really hammer down the Germans and their progress going into Western Europe, which will obviously help the Soviets. We have our own goals. Obviously, Finland is one of them, Romania another, potentially Warsaw at some point, and Turkey. We got a lot of spheres of influences that we have to progress to. As well into the Far East Command, I got to worry about the Japanese forces, but all in due time. All in due time. The Japanese are pressuring us to sign the non-aggression pact between Japan and Russia, and I'm not biting right now. Actions speak louder than a pact personally right now, so I want to keep them wondering if another front is going to open up over on this side, because if it does, that's bad for Japan, right? And right now with the European, or looks like definitely a European first movement, and it's not a wrong strategy. Japan will have a little bit more free-for-all over here in the Pacific. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, just a quick brief summary on where we're at. Here's the communists. We got one tech on the board. Obviously, we're limited on our techs until we get more income going. The Americans and the British have done fairly well. At least I think they have. And of course, the Axis as well too. Poor old commies just always get the short end of the stick. It's like nobody wants to believe in Bolshevism or something like that. So we're going to be now starting turn 5 this morning. Guys are going to start to arrive here at the Eagle's Nest. And this is just a brief overview of the first few turns. On Thursday night we had, and now it's Friday morning. We're going to see how far we get. Friday I predict, obviously, the fall of France today. Maybe the Germans will attack London. Maybe the Germans will, focus into consolidation of Eastern forces. Who knows where they're going to go, what they're going to do. The Italians obviously might pull the hammer this turn and join when the Axis do, but we'll have to wait and see. The Japanese don't give a crap. They're on a warpath right now. It just depends where they go. Left, right, north, south, east, west. Who knows? Sky Marshal in the Lion's Den. We'll see you for the day 2 update.